Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Dane at ZIMM'S Guitars. And today on the bench, we've got a Tele. This is the Starcaster. Very inexpensive, made in China. We have to bring this thing back to life today. I see it's got the maple neck. The electronics are working. This is really loose right there, the tone. But it has working electronics, so that is good. But the one thing that I noticed about this guitar that is really crazy are these tuners. Okay, so they look good enough from just first eyeballing them, but what I'm starting to see here is these things are actually bent. So let me see if I can get the camera in here and give you a better view of these tuners, because I've never seen anything happen like this before. These things are actually bent and they are leaning forward. Now that one's leaning forward. This one seems okay. These three seem okay. But these three are literally just actually leaning forward like that.
Literally.
And that seems super weird. I've never seen that before. So let's get into this thing. Let's work on these tuners. We got to restring this thing and let's get it ready to be resold. Here we go. Let's get started. Alright, let's go ahead and pull the strings off of here. With the help of my Ernie Ball Power Peg Pro string winder. Yeah, these tuners are a mess. I've never seen anything do that before, like these things have. So let's see what is going on with these things. Yeah, I don't know if they are just loose and they just never went in there right, or if it's the wrong tuner altogether, or if they are just flat out broken. Look at that. Super strange. Usually Fender tuners are pretty good, and even the Squier stuff, most of the time, yeah, they're all pretty good tuners. Let's look at the back here and pull these little screws out of here. Yeah, so they seem very strange. Maybe they got changed out at one time. Let's get all 6 of these screws out since we've got it set in here already. Crafted in China, CWS 11.3. So serial number, I think, makes it out of one of the Samick factories that are in China, is my best guess. Alright, so now let's go back like this and let's see if these will come off of here. They are so loose already, it's just hand tight. Alright. So, wow. Seems like it's all there for some reason. Oh man, yeah, that one is broken. And actually, let's see here so we can see it. Oh, look at that. Freaking broken. So I'm going to try to change all 6 of these and get these out of here. And you know, another thing that I might do here, and not to try to be deceitful or anything, but I got some water slide decals that were given to me the other day, and I might, since I have this apart, I might experiment with putting a water slide decal on. Just something fun to do. And again, not to be deceitful and try to tell people, oh no, this is a real US Tele. You know, I'm not about that kind of stuff. Get the string trees out of the way. And actually, for a $100 guitar, this might be fun to experiment with the water slide decals. So nobody wants to see Starcaster on there. Let me show you what these were donated to me the other day. So I got a whole pile of stuff here. And let me do this. Let's go like this. Now we can all kind of see them, including myself. So we got these little custom shop things. Strat stuff. Fender custom shop. Yeah, this was all given to me, and I'm like, yeah, that's kind of fun. Oh! Ooh, look at that. A big old spaghetti logo. I wonder how this actually even works. There's one from like this a 70s style. There's one for a P bass, Fender Strat stuff. Okay, that one looks like more of a water slide. I don't know if I'm gonna, an Esquire. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to figure this out. But let me, because this almost looks like it's just printed on there. But let me take a close look at this. Okay, so I was going through bags of tuners that I have, and I ended up picking these 6 right here. So let's go ahead and install these 6 right here. I think they should drop right in there. Sometimes you have to drill these holes out a little bit to get them to fit, but I think those will drop right in there, and yeah, it does. And these were labeled Ibanez, so we'll see how these things work. Okay, so I got the tuner on there. Now I'm going to try to get a little bit of this dirt that's on the fingerboard. This is a really unfinished fingerboard. There is like no finish on that whatsoever. So I'm going to use a little bit of this NAFTA stuff. It's basically lighter fluid. Put some of that on there. It's got a nice little scent to it, but Not too bad. Let's see if this scrubs some of this off of here, because it just looks kind of dirty. There we go. I think that's looking better. It got a little something off of there. There's not really anything that you can do to clean a maple fretboard like this, except for some of this stuff. I think that's probably the best thing that you can do. And then we can throw a little bit of, I guess, some of this Gibson polish on there. Actually, I'm going to just throw a lot of it on there. And then I'm going to take do I got any paper towels or anything? Yeah, let's see what this, let's just clean on it some more. My opinion, a clean fretboard is the best way to resell a guitar. Even though this is only $100 guitar, I still want it to look good, because, you know, you don't want anything hanging in your store that looks too bad, because it kind of brings down the overall inventory of your whole store if you've got dirty, ugly stuff laying around. Everything needs to be shined up as good as it can be. There we go. So, there we go. Nice looking fingerboard. The fret ends feel good on this guitar. I don't think I need to do anything there. Let's see if I can turn that truss rod. Put the camera back on that truss rod a little bit. And yeah, it's tight, but it turns, so we have a functioning truss rod in it. Let's go ahead and tighten this up. Let's go ahead and pull this off. We got to tighten that. So this should be relatively painless, quick and easy. And we can take a look at what the electronics look like in here. Yeah, just inexpensive stuff. Nothing too crazy. There we go. And we'll take one of these guys. And while we're holding the bottom, we can... You know what? I don't know if that's my favorite tool for this. Kind of like these things. I have these kind of snubby nose, needle nose here that I use. There we go. Just like that. And then, so while we're in here, we can take a little bit of this electronic spray cleaner. We can just give them a little shot. Whoa, that was way too much. And a little bit in here. And that'll get any dust out of there. And possible static. So there we go. And then I'm just going to throw these two screws back in here. Not a bad looking little guitar. It does have, you know, the string through bridge. So a lot of cheap stuff has the top loader bridge, but this one actually has string through, which is nice. Let me look and see if I have a tip that will fit on there. So I got my whole case full of stuff. I think one of these things would look good on there. So let's see if this one fits. It does. It's way too big. Let's see what else I've got in here. And I'm thankful to you guys because a lot of you guys send me this kind of stuff. So this thing is kind of crusty looking. Yeah, well, it's kind of on there. That's not bad, honestly. Maybe we should leave that one on there. And then there's this one that was too big. Then we've got this style. And honestly, that's probably the one that came with it. So we're going to stick with that one. It's always good when you can have extra knobs, because these kind of parts are always missing. So there we go. This guitar, by the looks of these saddles, it's probably going to need to be intonated. But that gets done after all the strings are on the guitar. Alright, so I got a set of tuners on here. I got the fretboard all cleaned up. I put a tip on the end of the three-way switch right there. We've tightened up the potentiometer there, and it's time to put some strings on it. So go ahead and roll the string jingle. Today's string choice. Okay, today's string choice. We've got Dunlop Electric Nickel Performance 9 through 46. Performance strings are designed to elevate your playing experience. There we go, man. I know that my playing needs to be elevated. Dunlop strings. Out of California, made in USA. Dunlop manufacturing. Let's throw these babies on there. Okay, so we've got ball ends on this that are white, black, and gold. Hey, stay there. So here we go. We've got these lower strings. All these Dunlop strings are so long. Usually, man, you could do a baritone guitar with these babies. These things are, I've always noticed that. These are very, very long. And so our 46 is silver and white. So yeah, these Starcasters, they're very inexpensive, but they're, for some reason, they're really good quality. And looking back on different videos, because again, I watch all the same videos that you do. Music is Win. Tyler, he did a video on one of these things one time. And I recently watched Music is Win channel, and the guy's name is Tyler. And he went through and talked about the Metallica album, Master of Puppets. And sitting there watching that video, it is pretty amazing, that album, Metallica. Everything about Metallica was like, dang, how'd they do that? They were really, really a freaking good band, and still are. But yeah, every once in a while, go over there and watch some Music is Win. It's got a great channel. Okay, the D string has got a gold ball end on there. Okay, now let's look at this mess. It's very important not to bend the strings, of course. You guys know that. Okay, so there we go. Our G string is white. It has it all listed off on here. Silver and white. G string, 16 gauge. Okay, so we'll tune this thing up, stretch the strings out a little bit. And again, I always leave my left hand over here to protect the nut, because sometimes pulling on these strings you'll break the nut, and so you got to be careful of that. Now the tuners I put on this, these were used tuners. They fit right in there, and they seem like they work really well, except the buttons are too big, and it doesn't give you hardly any room to get in here. But they're still completely functional and everything. They're just really big tuner buttons on this. Alright, let's see what's going on with it now. Feels pretty good. Let's take our notched straight edge. I think this was, maybe I got this on Amazon. And let's set it in here. This is a long scale, 25.5 scale length. Set that in there, and let's see how much neck relief we got. Ooh, we got a lot. We got a lot of relief. So we're going to go ahead and tighten the truss rod. And I got a whole variety of different truss rod tools over here. Okay. Okay, cut this part out. Cut that out. Okay, so let's go ahead, and I'm going to loosen the D string, get it out of the way. Loosen the G string, get that thing out of the way. And let's go ahead and see if this thing will snug tight. Oh man, it's like really, really there. And sometimes you can kind of do this kind of thing just to help it along. Super, super tight. Okay, let's tune it back up to pitch and take another look at it. Yeah, the buttons are kind of too big for it.
I have a special announcement.
Special alert, breaking news right in the middle of this restring video. Now I've got this Starcaster Strat version of this thing, and why do I get myself into this stuff? You can see that the arm broke off inside there. Luckily, I have a lot of bridges that will drop right into here thanks to you guys donating parts. So I'm going to pull this bridge out. Yeah, I don't know why I get myself into this sometimes, but there you go. Oh, and one other thing. Thank you guys for watching. I got a gift, 2 brand new bottles of the Music Nomad F1 oil. Stu Mac sent this to me from Rock to Blues. Rock to Blues, thank you so much for the F1 oil. Okay, let's get back to our normal video shenanigans. Just got my snark tuner on here. Okay, now let's take a look at that. See what we're doing here now. Oh yeah, that got it. Should be a really good playable guitar now. All right, let's take a look at these saddles. And maybe we got some little bit of adjusting to do here. Because I don't want them to be slanted in weird ways. We want a radius across here, but we want them, each individual saddle, to be level. And these look a little uneven. And boy, they left plenty of space on these little screws. So I'm going to say these little machined adjusting screws. A lot of length on those. I've seen guys, they'll take those and they'll sand them down, they'll cut them down so they're not so tall. Okay, I think we're there. Let's just go up front and plug it in. Tune it up one more time, take it up front, plug it in. Let's see what this thing sounds like. Alright guys, so I got this Tele all strung up and I adjusted the truss rod. Let's put it over in the bridge position for a second and see what that does. Got the tone control working on it. Got the 3-way switch sounding good. And then the neck pickup. So there we go, guys. Crazy little Starcaster, very inexpensive guitar. We saved this one. It was in pretty bad shape, but we got it going. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video. Like and subscribe. Do all that YouTube stuff for me, okay? Leave me some comments, all that fun stuff. And thanks again for watching. We'll see you in the next video.